bring the whole facility down. We're better off taking our chances with the sharks.
Hey, you want to go swim with your little fishes, miss? You go right ahead. Me? I'm opening this door and I'm climbing out of here.
The hell you are.
Hey, I don't work for you anymore, okay? I don't have to take your orders.
That's enough now, from all of you! Now you've seen how bad things can get, and how quick they can get that way. Well, they can get a whole lot worse. So we're not going to fight anymore! We're going to pull together, and we're going to find a way to get out of here. Seal off this.
Imagine being trapped thousands of feet beneath the ocean, with nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and 3 genetically enhanced sharks that are smarter than the people hunting them. A team of scientists thought they were creating a cure that could save millions of lives. Instead, they created something that could outsmart them. And when the sharks realize that humans are trapped inside the underwater facility with them, the experiment turns into a fight for survival. This is Deep Blue Sea. The experiment, the story begins inside a massive research facility located in the middle of the ocean. Dr. Susan McAllister and her team are conducting a highly secretive experiment involving genetically modified sharks. Their goal is not to create monsters. They are searching for a protein inside the shark's brains that could potentially help repair damaged human brain cells, especially those affected by Alzheimer's disease. And their experiment appears to be working. Susan successfully extracts the protein and tests it against damaged brain cells. The results are incredible. The damaged cells begin showing signs of recovery. For the scientists, this could be the breakthrough they have been waiting for. But there is one problem. The sharks aren't ordinary anymore. The scientists have genetically altered their brains, making them significantly larger and more advanced. And they soon discover that increased intelligence comes with a terrifying side effect. The sharks are learning, they're watching, and they're becoming smarter than anyone expected. The first attack after the successful experiment, one of the scientists approaches the shark. Suddenly, it wakes up. Before anyone can react, the shark violently attacks him and tears off his arm. Everyone panics. The creature is far stronger and more unpredictable than they imagined. Carter, the facility's security expert, immediately prepares to stop it. But Susan refuses to let them kill the shark. She believes the research is too important, so instead of destroying the creature, they release it back into the ocean. At that moment, Susan thinks she has protected the experiment. She doesn't realize she has just released the biggest threat inside the facility. The facility is cut off outside. A massive storm is approaching. The weather becomes so dangerous that evacuation is nearly impossible. Then disaster strikes. A helicopter attempting to help the injured scientist is attacked. The shark grabs the cable connected to the helicopter and uses it to pull the aircraft into the facility. The resulting crash causes a massive explosion. Communications go down. Parts of the facility are destroyed. Water begins rushing inside. And suddenly, the scientists realize something terrifying. They are trapped. But they're not alone. The sharks are still outside. The sharks are hunting them as the survivors struggle to escape. One of the sharks begins attacking the facility. It smashes through barriers. It uses its prey to damage the glass. And it appears to understand exactly how the humans are trying to escape. The survivors are horrified. How can a shark possibly plan attacks like this? Then Susan finally admits the truth. The genetic modifications didn't simply make the sharks stronger. They made their brains much more advanced. The creatures can learn, they can observe, and most terrifying of all, they can plan. The scientists haven't created smarter animals. They have created predators capable of thinking several steps ahead. The chef's survival, one of the movie's most unexpected survivors, is the facility's chef. While everyone else is desperately searching for an escape route, he suddenly finds himself being hunted by one of the smaller sharks. He runs through the kitchen and climbs onto a shelf, but the shark keeps following him. Eventually, the chef falls into the water and desperately searches for somewhere to hide. He finds an oven and climbs inside. But the shark isn't fooled. The chef realizes he has one final option. He uses the gas and a lighter to create an explosion. The blast kills the shark. For a moment, it looks like the survivors have finally gained the upper hand. But they haven't, because there are still larger sharks hunting them. The escape becomes a nightmare. The remaining survivors attempt to reach the upper levels of the facility, but every route is dangerous. One person is pulled underwater. Another is killed when the shark attacks from behind. The survivors keep moving through flooded corridors while knowing that the creatures could appear at any moment. And the deeper they go, the worse their situation becomes. The facility is collapsing. Water is everywhere. The power is failing, and the sharks are becoming increasingly aggressive. Carter realizes that simply running isn't going to save them. They need to kill the creatures. Susan's biggest mistake. Susan eventually returns to retrieve the research samples. She believes that after everything they've sacrificed, the discovery cannot be allowed to disappear. But while she is searching for the samples, one of the sharks finds her. Susan climbs onto a shelf and tries desperately to escape. The shark attacks again. Then she notices an exposed electrical wire. She realizes that the water could turn the wire into a weapon. Susan waits until the shark attacks. Then she pushes the live wire directly into its mouth. The electricity surges through the creature. The shark dies. But Susan is devastated when she sees the research data disappearing into the water. She finally understands something. The research she believed could save millions of lives has already cost too many lives. And the disaster began because she refused to stop the experiment. The final escape eventually, only Carter, Susan, and the chef remain. They discover that the facility is sinking. The sharks are also trying to escape into the open ocean. If they reach the surface, there may be nothing stopping them. The survivors develop one final plan. They take explosives from emergency flares and attach them to a harpoon. The idea is simple. Harpoon the shark, connect the weapon to an electrical source, and destroy the creature. But getting close enough is almost impossible. Susan decides to use herself as bait. She cuts her hand and jumps into the water. The smell of blood immediately attracts the shark. It charges toward her. Carter jumps in to save her. For a moment, it looks like they might both survive, but the shark attacks Susan. She is killed. Now, Carter is alone in the water with the monster. The shark turns toward him. Carter desperately swims away, dodging its attacks. Above him, the chef prepares the harpoon. He waits for the perfect moment. Then he fires. But something goes terribly wrong. The harpoon strikes Carter's leg instead of the shark. Now Carter is connected to the deadly weapon. If the electricity is activated, he could die too. Carter desperately frees himself. The shark tries to escape, but the chef connects the wire to the battery. And then, boom, a massive explosion tears through the water. The shark is finally destroyed. Silence returns to the ocean. Carter survives. The chef survives. But almost everyone else has been killed. The research facility is destroyed. The experiment is gone. And the creatures created to help humanity have become the reason so many people died. In the end, the survivors finally reach the surface. They look back at the destroyed facility and realize how close they came to releasing something far worse into the open ocean. Because the real horror wasn't simply that these sharks were huge. It wasn't even their strength. It was their intelligence. The scientists thought they were controlling nature, but nature was learning how to fight back. And that's what makes Deep Blue Sea so terrifying. Because sometimes the most dangerous creature isn't the one with the biggest teeth, it's the one smart enough to know exactly when to use them. If you enjoyed this movie explanation, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and watch more videos like this.